Hey there, good friends. Welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Before we go any further with our Sealant Madness, our Sio2 matchup, and I have plenty of them, and I have plenty I want to showcase first before I even match them up with other products on the same panel. I do want to mention I have a lot of these products on cars that are out, getting some real world exposure. There is no substitute for that. However, I can't attach a camera to that car 24/7, so we're going to have to wait 6 months for it to come back, and I will do a video and show you the follow-up and show you how durable the products were and if the customer is enjoying them. And that includes the Adams 9H, the McGuire's, and many other. We're going to take a look at tax system, and I have many more spray sealants to look at on their own, and that includes the one today, which I am really intrigued with, and I think will give your McGuire's a run for its money. A lot of you guys love the McGuire's. Really not bad for the price. It really holds up well against the other Sio2 sealants. This one here is just a little bit more expensive. It's applied the same way, but not as thick, and it comes in a 32-ounce bottle, and it does last a lot longer. You can get a lot more covered with the product not being quite as thick and clingy, and it's just a little bit easier to conserve is the best way to put it, and we're going to take a look at that today. That is the 303 Sio2 Spray Sealant. 303 Touchless Sealant Sio2 spray on and rinse off, just like McGuire's. However, 32 ounces for 25 bucks. But it's a lot thinner. You can mist it out of the nozzle, not a clumpy byproduct coming out of the nozzle like McGuire's. So you can control the waste a little bit, and it will equal out in the end. I have tested it, and price means nothing between these two. It's just performance. So let's get on with it. I have a panel here that is naked, it's virgin, it's ready to go. The only thing that concerns me on the back of the label, it claims 6 months protection. I'm always worried about that because it always turns out to be 3 or 4, sometimes less. But other than that, no just off-the-wall, gaudy claims about their product. They release it, they'll let you go out and use it, and come to your own conclusion. I really respect that. So that brings me to preparation. And I know I've mentioned this in many videos, and I'm going to keep driving it home with you guys because it is important. It's the only way you're going to get the most out of the product. Save your money. When it comes to preparation, after you wash and clayed, and you're not going to do correction, after clay, you have to do some type of polishing. It's abrasive. I don't know why you wouldn't, but I'll go with an IP solution and then follow up with Angel Wax Perfect Polish or Polish Angel Escalate Lotion. It's a fine abrasive and a cleaner all in one. It doesn't take a lot of time, no big deal, not a lot of effort. Just go around and use a soft polishing pad, open cell, it'll keep the temperature down on the surface, and go around and polish and exfoliate the surface of your car. It may have some gloss to it, but I'm telling you, there are some dead paint molecules that need to be removed. The LSP, or the last step protection, will not bond properly if you don't. No effort really whatsoever. Excuse my voice today, guys. I'm fighting the typical cold and flu that likes to visit the household this time of year. But the polisher's on mid-speed, no pressure. Arm speed is correction speed. And this is really the pinnacle of your decontamination. You've done the wash. You've done your chemical decontamination. You've done some of the mechanical decontamination with the clay or auto scrub. This finishes it off. Exfoliates, removes dead paint molecules, oxidation, whatever you want to call it. Then your LSP has something to bond to properly, or will just rinse away, wash away, and not last very long. And finally, I'm going to grab my IGL pre-coat. That is my body solvent of choice to remove any residue whatsoever from the polish, and just to make sure that the clear coat is clear, has a clean slate, and ready to receive protection. And that's better. It's clean, it's decontaminated, it's smooth, ready for the next step. That brings us to application. The panel's still wet, We're misting on the 303. You can see just how fine it is coming out of the nozzle. And we grab the Krause and Becker. And by the way, I have some harmless colored water just so you could see the reaction a little bit easier on this silver. Makes it better because I realize a lot of you guys are watching this on your mobile devices and smaller screens. So I hope this helps, just keeping you guys in mind. And I kept a control section to the left there. And it actually gets better as time goes on. A second layer does help, but that first layer, if you rinse it again and come back a couple minutes later, you're going to see gloss improving, water repelling properties improve, and really a neat product. Not bad with just one application, but I would recommend for a base application of the product to go on just like this, just like the Meguiar's. Spray it on the panel, spray a little bit into a damp microfiber as the panel's still wet, and work it in. Crosshatch pattern. Then you can buff it dry, buff it to perfection, or even rinse from there. I hope you can see the difference between the section that we treated with the 303 and the control section. The control section is just sheeting like normal with no protection at all. And the 303 section has some really nice water repelling properties. Couldn't ask for anything more. Beading really doesn't mean anything, but it's one way for, us to see that there's some type of protection there. Where I really enjoy and use the product the most are these intricate wheel designs where it's hard to get your fingers in there, and clean brake dust. So to help prevent that, I'm going to use something like the 303. The wheel's already wet. We spray the 303 in there, rinse it, and dry it with a leaf blower or with a microfiber, however you want to do it. And there's really not much touching involved. Less contact with the surface, that'll mean less love marks and swirling and scratches. If you end up with the product at some point, try it on the windows. You're going to love it. Cure time, an hour or two at least before you send it out into wet or humid weather. When it's dried and cured, it feels very smooth like glass. The gloss is enjoyable, and you have protection. And again, I'm going to apply it and send it out, but my guess is going to be about 3 or 4 months. For the final thought segment of the video, the 303 Sio2 spray sealant, I really do think would hang with Megs, and if you use them both the same way, that Meguiar's container would be finished a little bit quicker than the 303. You would have about a quarter of the container left, just because it is thinner and it is easier to manage in turn, which would give you less waste. I do want to make something clear. Do not go out and buy what I review. I could give a crap about these companies. I'm looking out for you. I'm sharing my experience, taking time out of my busy day to share my experience with you, to help you and save you money. If you really do need to replace something that's just about empty, or you want to switch chemicals, then go ahead and follow the link and look into it. But don't take your information from one source. Look at the forums, maybe other YouTubers, and gather as much information you can. And then if you need to, go ahead and make the purchase. Don't hoard the products like I do. I probably couldn't use everything I have now in a lifetime worth of detailing. Brian from Apex Detail. catch you guys in the next video. I do want to remind you we have a lot of these Sio2 sealants to put on a panel and compare, have a little fun with. There, again, I'm going to say it, there is no substitute for real world abuse, but I can't capture that. We have to wait till it comes back. However, we can have fun comparing them side by side, seeing how they resist chemicals. And I only throw on there some of the chemicals that are introduced in the real world, such as some of the cleaners I put on there that are equivalent to what you get when you go through a car wash tunnel, and there's many more, and I will share those in great detail as we do those videos. Until then, catch you guys in the next video.